So, you spent all this time creating these dope designs. They're popping with color, just bleeding on the screen. You start your print on demand store. Customer orders it. You get a review. Customer says they're not happy. They got the shirt and the colors just didn't pop. It just wasn't what they were expecting. It just didn't look like what it did on the image that they were showing online. 1-star review. It wasn't your print on demand partner's fault. It wasn't the customer's fault. It was your fault. Allow me to explain. What is up and welcome back. This is the Law of Evolution, and today I'm going to help you out and tell you the difference between CMYK and RGB and why you should even care. Let's get straight to it. So let's just go through some quick definitions, right? If you are an artist or you are a designer or something like that, and you're familiar with these terms and you're familiar why you should care about these, then more power to you. You're doing the right thing, and your customers are more than most likely very happy about that. If this is the first time you're hearing a breakdown like this, because other print-on-demand YouTubers don't really discuss this, and I think partially it's because most print-on-demand YouTubers aren't themselves illustrators or artists, right? They're designers. They take text and they put text together with some other graphic, and then you like sell a shirt, right? But for like a person like myself, I'm a lifelong visual artist, and the difference between these color profiles is well outlined, right? Let's get down to a couple quick definitions, right? RGB stands for red, green, and blue. This is a color profile that is meant specifically for computer screens, digital billboards, your television commercials, anything that's shown digitally. The mixture of red, green, and blue can give you millions, literally millions upon millions of color variations. And then there is CMYK. CMYK stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and key. What color is key, right? Key is just black. And when you take cyan, magenta, and yellow, and you mix equal parts of it, right? 100% cyan, 100% magenta, and 100% yellow. You mix those together and you get a pure black, right? You can't get that pure black when you mix RGB. Mixing RGB, you get this like weird, nasty looking brown. I don't know what it is, but that's actually how you get brown though. You mix RGB together with like a little bit more of the yellow, with a little bit more of the red or something like that, but that's how you get brown. But you get black by mixing CMY. And so why do they call it key, right? Quick history lesson. Back in the mid 1800s, late 1800s, when they were doing the actual like physical printing presses, they used to have these kind of like plates that they would put the ink onto, right? And so they put the ink onto the plate, and they would have a key. It was literally like a key that would control the ink flow. It would control how much of this particular color went down into the press. And so the mixture of CMYK in these colors with the key would determine what kind of color you were going to get. Mixing them all together gets you the black. And so they just said, hey, unload the key and you get perfect black out of it. That's the Law of Evolution history lesson today. Just send the checks in the mail, or like and subscribe if you're learning something, right? So, why should you even care? Like I mentioned before, mixing red, green, and blue gets you millions upon millions of different color variations. Mixing CMYK does not get you millions upon millions of colors. It's a lot less than that. So that's why when you create a piece of art in RGB and a printer prints it, the colors are off because the printer is just going to find that next color. They're just going to match it to the next closest thing that they can get. So everything just tilts off a little bit, and that's why your whole design just looks muted. Some colors show up perfectly, but then some of them are just not really all there. Like for instance, I have a shirt right here. We just recently got a sublimation printer. Like, that's actually what this is right here. This is a sublimation printer behind me. Then the blue thing is a silhouette cameo, and then there's a couple heat presses back there. There's like 2 heat presses. Anyway, but we were really happy. We got the sublimation printer, and this was the first t-shirt that I made, right? And so on this, it's kind of hard to see in the camera, but on this, this guy, this pink dude, he was really bright pink. A really beautiful, bright, hot, not hot because that's more red, but this was a bright pink. And the greens were a lot greener, a lot brighter. But this design was in RGB, and we printed it on a shirt, and that's why I got muted colors. I would have built this image in a CMYK profile. When I went to sublimate this on a t-shirt, it would have come out beautifully, crisp and beautiful. And like I said, those dark colors that you can get by mixing CMY, beautiful and rich, deep dark colors, right? And then if you look at the difference here, this is a tumbler, and we sublimated it, this design that I created on a tumbler. But when you look at the tumbler, you can just tell. Look how bright and snappy and how beautiful these colors are. This image was done in a CMYK profile, right? So when we went to sublimate this onto the cup, beautiful, bright, bold colors. Okay, you don't want to get into a situation where you're creating all of these beautiful designs, guys. You're spending all of this time on it. You go to send it to a customer, and they get it, and it's just not really all there. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you're delivering the right file. For me, like, this is my Etsy shop I kind of had in the background. All of these thumbnails that you see from me, all of my thumbnails are in RGB because I want them to see on their phone or on their computer screen how bold and beautiful and poppy these colors are, right? But when they go to download the actual file from me, they're like, oh, I like this. They click it, download the actual file. The file that they download from me is in CMYK. So I've separated it like that so they get the best viewable image on the computer screen, and they get the best workable image when they go to print it on a cup or print it on a t-shirt or a hoodie or some socks or anything like that. And once again, I get reviews all the time of people just saying, wow, these colors are beautiful, these colors pop. This brought me here because of how bright and beautiful and vibrant the colors were. And when they put it on their shirt, it looks exactly the way they expect it to look. So that's really all I have for you guys. I had a real quick, short and to the point video. And you know what, as short as this video is, this is probably the most important tip anyone, a YouTuber, an artist, anybody can give you when you're doing print on demand. You're literally creating graphics for clothing. There's absolutely no reason there's absolutely no reason to be creating designs of any kind for print on demand in RGB. And like, really quickly, if I go to Photoshop, because I have my Photoshop open, when I go to Photoshop, and you go to click a new file, and I just start up something new, my color mode is right here. So all I have to do is just click the drop down, go over to CMYK. I would probably change that higher resolution, but I'll go over to CMYK and click create. Once again, you don't want to convert. You don't want to start going into your old design and trying to convert them into CMYK, because you run into the same issue. You'll try to convert it into CMYK and your colors will get real funky. And so the best bet is to just start a new artboard with the color mode or your color profile as CMYK and go from there. Get in the habit of doing this, guys. Do it. Check it. Make sure this is correct. No one's ever given you a better tip than this. I'm an artist first and foremost. I know how important this is. So separate yourself from the crowd, guys. And I'm so serious about this. Separate yourself from the crowd. Assure that your designs pop. Give print on demand seller the right file, the right color profile, and make sure your customers are happy. Easy. it almost doesn't seem actionable. It doesn't seem like it's something like you should spend time on. But on the back end, that is why my designs look better. They just oftentimes look better because I know where to give the customer their image. I know where to provide their particular color profile. I know on their computer, I know on their cell phone, I know if they're looking at it, I know if they're checking out my listing in any way, shape, or form, they're checking out my listing on some sort of screen, right? They're checking out my shop on some sort of screen. All of those thumbnails need to be RGB. So thank you so much for checking me out. I appreciate it. If you learned anything, please like, subscribe. I make videos. If you didn't learn anything at all, you learned that you can come to my channel and not learn something. So that's learning. That's a lesson. That's a lesson right there. I'm pretty sure you won't forget that. Yeah. Hey, thank you so much for checking it out, guys. I appreciate all the love. Like, subscribe. Hey, and if you are a seller on Etsy, there's a link to Sales Samurai in the description. I'm partnered with Sales Samurai. There's a link in the description. It's the only tool that I use to do niche research, to do keyword research, any of that stuff for Etsy. I use one tool and it's Sales Samurai. Check it out. Link in the description. I do get a little bit of a kickback because I'm partnered with them. All love. If you're an Amazon seller, merch by Amazon, Amazon KDP, so on and so forth, hey, check out the description. I got Helium 10 in the description too. Yeah, I'm partnered with Helium 10 as well. Yeah. So check out those guys, and I appreciate all the love. Start working in CMYK now. Separate yourself from the crowd. I can guarantee you a lot of people aren't doing this. A lot of the YouTubers aren't telling you to do it because they're making the mistake themselves. They are. I bet you, I promise you they're making the mistake too. I promise you. And watch, I don't have that many subscribers. Next thing you know, somebody's just going to take my idea and you're going to see like Zen Water Cooler, you know what I mean? Ryan Hogue, they're going to be doing some video talking about CMYK, everybody. I got this. Thank you. Like and subscribe. I'll check you guys out on the next one.